Hello everybody, vanburman here, and welcome to my top 5 most anticipated RPGs of this year. Granted, we are in March now, but nevertheless we can still look forward to games that are coming out for the rest of the year. We've had a bit of slim pickings recently so far in 2014 regarding any really good RPGs, but there are quite a few good ones coming out, and I'm going to go through my top 5 list. A lot of them are AAA titles, even though there are some really good indie, very smaller indie ones coming out as well later on. That doesn't include mine because mine wasn't out till 2015, but nevertheless, let's begin with the first game, shall we? So firstly, we have, or in number 5, we have Final Fantasy 15. You might be thinking, well, why is this even on the list for a start off? Well, it's most anticipated for many reasons. It is, of course, Square Enix's chance to undo the past 12 years of crap that they've been bringing out to us with a Final Fantasy title on it. But it could also be quite a big turning point as well for not only the Final Fantasy franchise, but also Square Enix and RPGs themselves. If this game is a flop, and doesn't sell very well, and isn't a very good story, and doesn't perform well in many aspects, then it could be the end of Square Enix and the end of Final Fantasy, which you might think is a bad thing, but it's either going to go one way or the other, and it would definitely give another company the chance to fill in the void which Final Fantasy would leave, because there's definitely a market for it. And a lot of people have been raving about the combat in this, but from what I can see, they keep just pressing attack over and over again, so I'm not really too sure about how I feel about it. If this game is going to be successful, it's got to hit all the right buttons everywhere. Combat, story, graphics, they're obviously very proud of them and their little cutscenes that they've got. But yeah, the proof will be in the pudding. And we'll have to see how it goes. The reason it's 5th on the list is because I'm not really sure how much I'm looking forward to it. If it's on PC, I'll definitely get it and play through it, of course. But I'm not holding up too much hopes on the game, so maybe it'll come and surprise me. But we also don't know if it's going to be out this year. It's a leaked document says that it will be towards the end of the year, but Square Enix are denying that. So that's another reason why it's 5th on the list. But yeah, one to look out for, and probably worth picking up, although probably wouldn't get it straight away. I'd probably wait a week and see what the popular reviewers have got to say about it. So anyway, let's move on to number 4. So number 4 we have Dragon Age: The Inquisitor. Obviously it's going to be worth buying if my voice is in it. Well, probably not. But of course, this is the 3rd installment in the Dragon Age series. Dragon Age 2 was a bit of a letdown, so once again Dragon Age has really got to up its game this time. In terms of the gameplay that I'm showing you, there's not really much in the way of substance, and in fact they haven't released a huge amount of substance, apart from a couple of gameplay videos which are filmed very badly with camera phones. But yeah, this has got a bit of a strange mix to it in terms of the gameplay and the story, but we'll have to see how it pans out. And if it is to be the last Dragon Age, then it would be, I think, worth picking up just to see what goes on. But yeah, once again, improvements are needed on the second one. BioWare is a company that I like, even if they can't make endings, and we'll have to see how it pans out. So once again, another game worth checking out. This one you could probably get on release, but we'll have to wait and see when more information is released about it. But I believe it's coming out in autumn this year, so once again towards the end of the year as well. And in number 3 we have Hellraid, which is a game sort of like a mix between sort of Skyrim and Killing Floor, it seems. But they've got a lot of imaginative things in there, especially with the enemies. I don't really know too much about the story, but from what I've seen so far, the studio that's making it putting in some really hard graft. I'm following them all the time because this is one game that I do really want to play. It's got a bit of survival horroriness to it as well, in a sense, but it is really an action RPG, pretty much in every way. But this should be one definitely worth checking out. I don't actually know when this is coming out because I haven't given a release date yet, but it should be probably in the summer, I would have thought. So, number 2. Now, this was a very close call between number 2 and number 1 in the list, but this one has had to make way at second place, and this is The Child of Light, which is being made by Ubisoft, which, yes, don't worry, I was a bit skeptical as well, but now they've got rid of Uplay, or the DRM for Uplay, it could work. As you can see here, they've got a sort of modified ATB system involved. It's sort of a bit between, I guess if you were going to fit it in, you'd say it's between Final Fantasy 9 and Final Fantasy 10 in terms of its battle system, in the fact that you get to interrupt and stop enemies from having their turn and pushing them all the way back, which is very similar to Final Fantasy 10 in that sense. But it looks like a really nice battle system. The artwork, the art styling is really nice as well. Actually, when I first saw it, I thought it was an independent game, so they actually surprised me with that one. But it looks like it's got all the right elements to make a really nice RPG game. This one is out in April. Is it April or May? I can't even remember now, I should know. So I've not been very informative with you there, but I think it's just over a month's time from now, and it's currently on Steam for $11.99. You can pre-order it, and I can't wait to get my hands on this because it looks really good. From what I've seen of the story as well, it's got the basis to be a little bit different, a little bit unique, and maybe this will fill in the gap, so to speak. So finally, number 1. Well, yes, I've got a bit of a soft spot for this game. It is, of course, The Witcher, and this is The Witcher 3. I'm not too sure about it, with it being released on other consoles. Well, it's been released on consoles as well. I mean, I don't know whether that will detract from the PC experience, because sometimes we find that, with graphics and story and stuff. But it is meant to be an open world, so once again they've gone for a mix between Witcher 2 and Skyrim, it seems. Everyone seems to like the way the Elder Scrolls have done things and the success that they've had from it. But this trailer doesn't really tell us too much. It just basically tells us that, Geralt is quite a bit older, and that somehow he's turned into the character from Assassin's Creed, which we'll see very shortly. But yeah, this is probably the game which I'm most looking forward to. Ever since it was announced, I've been looking forward to it. I just think the way, Witcher 2 I thought was a tad short in terms of how long the game took to complete, but it was a really nice looking game, and it was a bit different, and that's the sort of thing that we need in the RPG genre, is either something which sticks to the basics and does them well, or something which goes and tries to make themselves a bit different. As you can see, there is a bit of a running theme through most of these. They are quite action-orientated RPGs, but that's the sort of world we live in for RPGs at the minute, and you just have to accept that that's the way it is. So I'm really interested to see how these 5 games do, and yeah, hopefully you'll agree with me that these are worth looking forward to. So anyway, leave me any comments, tell me if I've missed any glaringly obvious RPGs out of this list. But as far as I can tell, these are the 5 probably worth getting above all else. The first one to come out will be The Child of Light, so we'll have to see how well that does. And, maybe it can prove to me that it deserved to be number 1 on this list. But the list is very rough anyway. And thank you very much for watching. Hopefully you've enjoyed this. Hopefully it'll give you some ideas of what you might like to spend your free money on this year. And yeah, I'll see you very soon, guys. Bye-bye.